the Flex On Podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Episode 366. And aren't you thankful for the number one sports podcast in all the universe? It's the Flex On Podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. The crew's all here, getting you ready for your Thanksgiving meals, feeding you that football, talking about that Tank Davis fight. Of course, we talk about the big game, the Ohio State and Michigan, 2 versus 3, the college football playoff implications. Also, talking about those Commanders and those Ravens who both win again. Of course, we got Goofies of the Week, and we do those Week 12 picks, starting on Thursday with 3 games. The Flex On Podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell. Tap in with us, let us know your thoughts. The Flex On Podcast Show. Flex On Podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. You get, ladies and gentlemen, know who that is. I'll get to him in a second. Only place, fellas, giving you sports how you want it
when you need it.
Episode 366, and we're thankful for that Flex On Podcast. You got to get another episode talking about Tank, talking about the Ravens, talking about the Commanders, talking about the game, Ohio State, Michigan, and so much more. Goofies, of course, and Week 12 picks. God's favorite host with the voice. You know who I am. Can't do the show alone. At the Flex On 1 on Twitter and Instagram, at the Flex On Podcast on TikTok. The Cash app is the Flex On 1. And of course, you can super chat us, let us know. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that bell, subscribe button. Let's cut things off. We're starting things off hot. Social media producer himself, the man who makes these streams pristine. Big Raj, what's up, my brother? How you feeling? And are you excited about the Thanksgiving week ahead?
I guess. I mean, it's just another holiday. Honestly, I mean, it's cool. But we got a lot of content coming. Doing a show tonight, AEW Dynamite Wednesday, Survivor Series this weekend, SmackDown Friday. The usual. This is what we do. So check us out. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. If you don't, I might come with the belt. And ruin your Thanksgiving.
Looks like he's about to come with the belt to somebody else. Is Big Raj, but next man. He's the Commandalorian, the commander, the captain of the Goofy ship. We salute him. Gervonta, Bay. And as of Wednesday, he's mobile betting extraordinaire, my brother.
My man. God, I feel like we've only been talking about this for years, about mobile betting coming to Maryland, and it has arrived. Very, very excited about that. I'll be giving my, tips, kind of how I always do from time to time with the point spreads, totals, and things, and fun things like that. And I was just telling Byron that this Thursday for the Thanksgiving games, point spreads are pretty interesting. So that'll be something to look into. And we were also talking about CJ Stroud off air, and I was telling Byron like, Ohio State, when it's a big spread, they do not cover. And it's the trend is pretty consistent, except for this week coming up, the game. But I'll get into that a little bit later.
He does it the ski mask way. He's got the Scully on, so it's cold out. But he's heating things up in the Flex Zone Palace. It's the brother, the pride of the East Side, savior, misbehavior, straw that stirs the drink, the Flex Zone Messiah, the voice of the community, the super producer, Mr. 25-8, more mean than the vaccine, Drizzy, Dre, the head of the table, the tribal chief. What's going on, my brother? How you feeling about the holiday week ahead? I know you got a couple of stops to make and plates to get.
What's going on, Byron? What's going on, America? We're going to keep it chilled. It'll be me and my lovely girlfriend, of course, with some family. So I'm looking forward to the good football and the good food that's about to be the nourishment for that body.
Also, the bishop, the reverend, the one and only Jersey Dre, bringing the good word that does the long prayer before you eat. And you're like, come on, man, I'm just trying to eat. But let's get into it, Big Raj. We talked about this off air about a week ago when I saw you saying Black Panther.
About a week ago.
Tank Davis, he will be fighting Hector Luis Garcia in January. That'll actually be taking place in D.C. at the Capital One Arena. Gervonta tickets going to sell tomorrow. And he will fight Ryan Garcia in May in Vegas. Raj, I got to get your thoughts as the boxing aficionado you are. Also, Gervonta can't look past Tank can't look past Garcia to look forward to Garcia because Garcia is undefeated. And Ryan Garcia, we know that's a dream match. So, Raj, how you feeling about these two fights, man? We're really going to see how good Tank is. And I'm ready to see him actually take on a real opponent or two of them going into 2023.
I'm scared for him, man. I'm not even going to lie to you. I'm scared for him. I think Ryan Davis is the real deal. He's been waiting, salivating, and just, biding his time until he was able to get Tank in the ring. He lured him in, got the deal done, talked a lot of trash on ESPN last week about how he's going to knock him out, and, just make a name, for himself. This is going to be probably the biggest fight of Tank's life. I think that Tank is a good boxer, but he still lacks in a lot of areas. He gets hit too much, to be honest with you. He does have a powerful right hand, though, and we've seen that time and time again. That that shot that usually comes through in the midway rounds. But I don't know, man. I mean, Ryan Davis is he's a beast, man. He's a beast, bro. And I don't know, man. I'm not sure how this fight is gonna go, but I think that Tank is going to definitely find a way to get it done.
Well, Dre, how you feeling, brother? You taking that trip to DC to go watch Tank? And he got two tough fights, man. I know Raj was kind of harping in mainly on the Garcia fight, but I think this Luis Garcia kid, he's undefeated too.
Yeah, his fight.
I said Davis, I meant Ryan Garcia.
So I got you, brother. I know.
I think his fight coming up, like Raj said, is really honestly nothing to sneeze at. And like you were saying, he can't look forward to his fight afterwards. I mean, you have an opponent ahead of you. Is right now November. I mean, that fight is literally a little over a month away. Right here in his backyard, basically. DC is not too far from Baltimore, believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen. So, I'm happy that he's about to have another fight. So, it's always great to see Tank fight, but these are some real opponents for Tank coming up. But I mean, then again, we've seen Tank face some people. We've been a little nervous before, being that he's been up and down with his weight. So I think I'm looking forward to the fight, and I'm just curious to see what Tank does within these upcoming fights, especially with the one coming in January. Brian H. Waters, my boy.
Brian H. Waters, baby. How you feeling? Shout out to him in the wrestling realm. Gervonta, he wants Garcia, but he's got to go through his first fight in January. Like I mentioned, Luis Garcia is not nothing to snooze at. He's undefeated as well.
I think the worst thing you could do, and this is in sports in general, never look ahead. You absolutely never look ahead. That's in football, basketball, whatever sport. You got that top tier opponent that folks been talking about all year. Never look ahead, because that's when you slip up, or in this case, get knocked out. As long as he takes, he does his proper training, and he takes this as seriously as he's taken all of his other fights, I think he should be okay. But like Dre said, and like Raj said, these are some guys right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gonna have to prove himself that he's that guy moving forward. And it's gonna be a hell of a test moving forward. But God damn it, Tank, do not overlook this brother coming up right here.
Who is he fighting first?
I thought it was Garcia first.
Okay, he's fighting Garcia. Okay, yeah.
But according to Mark, he's just a sparring partner. But Mark, all it takes is one punch. Your sparring partner can knock you out. Don't look ahead.
Don't start that that Roman Reigns one lucky punch stuff, man, from the Logan brothers.
No, this is actual. You will actually get punched. This ain't a kayfabe punch. You're gonna actually get punched. So I'm just saying, Tank can't go out there and be cocky. That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
Yeah, but we know how he get down. Like he can play around. He can play around a lot, and this ain't the one. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't gonna lie, I don't like this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like him fighting this dude first. I'd rather for him just to fight Garcia. I think he should focus all his energy on that. I mean, we've seen this story time and time again where I think Anthony Joshua was one of those guys that fought somebody before he was going to be able to fight Tyson Fury, and he ended up getting knocked out and lost the belt. I don't like this, man. I honestly don't. I think Tank is going to beat him, though, but I just want to see him and Garcia, honestly.
Like I said, we've seen Tank before. Raj, you say this about every fight that Tank's about to have, man.
Yeah, because Tank gets beat up. Look, Dre, Tank gets beat up in his fights. He loses a lot of his fights. It's because of his right hand. He wins them. He knocks them out.
So you say, are you calling him Wilder?
No, I'm not calling him Wilder. I'm just saying that he takes too many shots.
He tries to do too much Mayweather, Dre. He tries to do that.
He gets hit too much.
He's not him.
He's like
that's the problem. He hangs around him and tries to emulate him, but it's only one Floyd Mayweather, Dre, right?
And I hate to say this, bro. He reminds me of Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner took a lot of shots as well, but the difference is Adrian Broner didn't have no power like Tank does. But that just scares me, man.
Remember, he did come under the tutelage of Floyd Mayweather. I don't think he's with the money team anymore, but so that may be a little bit of it. But I mean, I've said that about Tank before he even got signed with Floyd. I felt that he played around too much in his boxing matches, and then he would knock you out. As I've seen him in a couple of fights. So this has just been something that he's just always continued. Do I wish that he would just straight up knock people out? Yeah. But I mean, it's also boxing too. We also know that boxing, just like wrestling, you got to draw that thing out. They want to show, even if we know this person's going to knock them out, they still want to draw it in for money purposes or whatever purposes that they got going on in the boxing world. So I think that this is still going to be a good fight, whether or not it's drawn out or whether or not it's a quick knockout. But I don't think it's going to be a quick knockout. I think it's just going to be just two good fighters. I see what our boy Mark is saying here in the comments.
Yeah, he disagrees with me.
I do, because your money should be on Tank. Like I said, you're always scared, Raj. Don't. No,
worry, I'm not saying Tank is going to lose this January fight. I just know that I don't like them. I don't like these two fights being so close together.
Actually, Raj is saying Ryan Garcia is the main event.
Yeah, Ryan Garcia. I just want to see. I want to see Ryan Garcia. I don't care about
Ryan Garcia. Will be the most legit person who's ever fought. Yes, he'd be the most legit person.
Yes. Like Barrios was almost a legit person that he fought, but Barrios just didn't have like the name recognition. He had a lot of the the wins, but a lot of people didn't know who he was. People know who Ryan Garcia is, man. They know who this brother is, and Ryan Garcia is chomping at the bit to destroy him. And for him to be taking Luis Garcia, whatever, as a what you call it, a tune-up fight or whatever, the fight Garcia, the other Garcia. I just don't like it. I just want him to focus his energy on Ryan going into the new year.
I think he's going to be focused on. I think he's going to be focused on Ryan. I don't think he's looking past Ryan Garcia in that fight. But who's the next fight you said after Ryan Garcia?
No, it's Luis first, and then it's Ryan. You see the graphic, right? It's a Tank versus Luis in January. We'll fight Ryan in May.
Hector Luis Garcia in January. Then Ryan Garcia is going to be rumored around Cinco de Mayo. They always want that big fight in Vegas around Cinco de Mayo.
Right.
Oh, okay.
He'd be wearing a sombrero like your boy Mayweather, used to do. Around May.
So Ryan Garcia is in April or May.
Yeah.
Okay. According to this, it says this article from 10 hours ago. It says that Ryan Garcia is supposed to be April. Which probably
they might do it in April.
It's gonna be the end of April.
Yeah, they want to try to do Cinco de Mayo, but it could be a little bit earlier, Dre, a week or two earlier. But January, like I said, the tickets going to sell tomorrow for the Hector Luis Garcia fight at Capital One Arena.
Okay, so Hector Garcia, and then it's Ryan Garcia. It's too many Garcias.
So he be fighting in DC.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
gonna fight in DC.
Yeah, the fight in January is at the Capital One, Raj. I know you want
Yeah.
those tickets. They're
That
going to sell them
makes
out.
sense because the arena's not even open yet. It won't be
Yeah,
open.
that won't be open until yeah. So
Okay.
we shall see what happens with Tank. Let us know in the comments what you think about Tank and these big fights coming up. I'm happy to see him leveling up and going at different competition. Definitely going to be intriguing to see how Baltimore's native son gets it done. And hopefully, like Raj said, he doesn't look past his first fight. Gervonta, the game
Here.
this past weekend, we saw Ohio State and Michigan struggle. Do you think these two teams were looking past their opponents, Ohio State and Maryland, and Michigan with Illinois? And how do you see this game playing out? The winner of this virtually is a lock for the college football playoff. And honestly, I would say the loser may still have a case. What do you think?
So I do think both of these teams were looking ahead. Maryland made that it was close for a little bit before Ohio State really pulled away, and Michigan as well. And it's funny, I think they were both looking forward to each other. We know how big the game is, pretty much on an annual basis. They have their mini Big Ten Super Bowl every year. I think it's going to be closer. I think it's going to be close this year. I don't think Ohio State has had a point spread this small all year. They're only favored by 7.5. And Ohio State has, I mean, out of how many games? They play 11 games. Ohio State might have covered 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ohio State does not do well with covering point spreads, which means this is going to be a very close game because it's only 7.5. It's only a touchdown plus the hook. Michigan has been tough all year. Ohio State has been pretty tough all year. And this is the last push. CJ Stroud, this is your last push for the well, not last push, but this is your basically your finals, a last staple game, and to make your case for the Heisman Trophy. Because I mean, at this point with Malik from Tennessee, he just tore his ACL. I'm sorry, what?
In the hooker.
Hayden Hooker. I'm thinking about Malik Hooker. Hayden Hooker. He just tore his ACL, and actually haven't been playing well the past 2 games. But now it's really CJ Stroud's Heisman Trophy to lose at this point. But he has to play well against Michigan. This is the game. This is it. Like you said, Byron, this is for pretty much the Big Ten championship, and probably solidify. The winner is going to be in the college football playoffs. And hell, and there's still an outside chance that the loser probably still gets the number 4 seed. Depending on how TCU finishes. But this is going to be a game. This is I look forward to this being the game is going to live up to its name. It's in Columbus, and it's only a 7-point spread. I think Michigan is going to find a way to cover that, but I think Ohio State squeaks it out.
Gervonta is going with the Ohio State. Dre, how you feeling about this, brother?
I agree with my brother. Michigan, yes, they're good, but I felt like last year was finally that breaking point year when they beat the Ohio State. When you look at Michigan this year, yes, Michigan is a good team, but the Ohio State's just a better team. I felt like last year, yes, the Ohio State was a good team, but that team was just not on the same mission as Michigan. It just felt like Michigan has always just been close, and they were just right there, and they finally got over it. And now the Ohio State is like, okay, you got yours. Now we coming back for revenge. We're gonna be hungrier, and we're gonna win this game. And I think that they do win this game. And I don't think it's gonna be a close game. I honestly think that they're gonna start blowing these boys out the water soon. Maybe between 14 and 21. I usually hate to really give a number, as y'all know, for a game, but I just feel like the Ohio State's just one of those teams that this year is just destined to really make a real playoff push. I know Georgia right now, with their being the number one seed, but I mean, you can see right now just college football overall, how things have just kind of been even killed for a lot of teams this year. I mean, it's different from years past, and I see that just the trajectory just moving forward. But I mean, with this particular game with the Ohio State and Michigan, I just feel like the Ohio State's just right now on a mission, and this will be a revenge game for them.
Go ahead, Raj.
I'm just gonna pick Ohio State. I don't have any really real analysis with these two teams. I haven't really watched them that much this season, so I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh yeah, Ohio State or Michigan." Nah, I haven't seen them that much this season. I've been too busy watching Alabama lose critical games and embarrass themselves out of the national championship picture. So,
Whoa, wait a minute. Come on. I don't think they embarrassed themselves because honestly,
well, maybe that's too harsh of a word. They let us down. How about that? A couple games they let us down.
I could say that, but granted, that's been like, all right. So when Alabama lost, they were both games on the road with like within the last minute. It's not like It's not like Alabama.
Still a letdown. It's Alabama. Come on now. Nick Slick Saban, as D would call him, usually find ways to win those type of games. But it's okay. I mean, it's okay. It happens. It happens. Sometimes it's not your year.
Happens.
And it is what it is, man. But I ain't gonna lie. I did watch that USC and what was it? Who they play? UCLA game.
Yeah.
UCLA was so close, man. On Saturday, D was just teasing me. He was like he was just being his bastardly self. But I mean, we'll see who wins out of this Ohio State game.
No, but I mean, like I said, I mean, honestly, I think this is the beginning of a new era in college football. You see that those teams like Alabama, Clemson, they're not the same teams no more. I mean, I don't think we have the same Big Four anymore. Yeah, Georgia is looking like the juggernaut right now. But I think that, I mean, when you think about like Alabama, Clemson, the Ohio State, I think teams are starting to creep up to them, and that eventually it's just going to be kind of even kill where we're not necessarily going to say like, oh, this is the projected winner. It's kind of going to be like anybody's ball game. I feel like right now, similar to the college football, I think the NFL is starting to get there too. I think that right now the NFL, I know we always talk about the phrase any given Sunday, but no, like how things have been, as we've seen with our picks, honestly, it's any given Sunday, and teams are literally just a few pieces away. I mean, we used to laugh at a team like the Lions, and they're right in there.
The parity of the league is very strong.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel the same way about college football right now, and maybe it might be NIL or whatever, Gervonta, maybe whatever else is going else out there, but that's the first.
And that damn portal, that damn transfer portal too. So yeah.
I think that those are some of the things that are just kind of making college football even, which is better, honestly, overall. So that way we're just not seeing, you'll see a few blowouts and stuff here and there, but I mean, teams like Tennessee, the TCUs, these are the type of stories that we like.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this will help, honestly, make college football more watchable over the years as well. I mean, in Maryland, we got a pretty good squad here.
Decent, yeah.
Granted, they're not the Ohio State, but are they coming? Yes. So
I mean, they played, they competed on Saturday. They competed. They could have upset them, but
I mean, and honestly, that's all you really want. You just want competitive games. Even if you start pushing away with more talent and better coaching from the other team, you just want competitive games, honestly, at the end of the day, to make it watchable and to give your team a chance. And as you can see, we saw a few Monday nights. So I think it was last Monday night, we did the live stream with Washington and the Eagles, where you may have a team like Philadelphia was undefeated, and then Washington comes along and they beat them. So you just kind of want that, going into these type of games. And that's why I said with this Michigan, the Ohio State game. Last year, it just felt like Michigan was a little more hungry, and I feel like in this rivalry, because the Ohio State been bullying them for years, and we kept talking about John Harbaugh. I remember something that L. Crawford had talked about a few years ago when he made the comparison with DC and Dallas with that Washington and Cowboys series, where that rivalry where no matter what, it's like if you can just beat the Cowboys, you're safe in Washington. And that's kind of how it was with Harbaugh, where Harbaugh has not won less than I think 10 games out of his whole tenure at Michigan, except maybe one season, but he just could not beat the Ohio State.
It's Jim Harbaugh. Jim
Harbaugh, my apologies. And Jim, but yet it's like they're ready to take his job, and it's like, no, he's doing a good job. He just can't beat the rival. So, he finally beats them. Granted, I don't think that this is his year to do it, but I mean, it's just one of those things where it's just so funny how like these type of games just mean so much, and these rivalries just mean so much. I think, like I said, I think it's going to be a close game, honestly, until the fourth quarter. Then I think the Ohio State starts breaking away. But that's only just because I just feel like the Ohio State is a little better. When you look at the two teams, the Ohio State just seems to stand out a little more to me right now than Michigan. I think that, honestly, the Ohio State is the team right now that would take on Georgia and be able to at least sort of compete with them. When I'm just looking at some of these other games that other teams have had, I just don't feel like right now there's a team that stands to mind outside of the Ohio State that can actually take on Georgia.
Shout out
So
to Mike.
Dre, also with being competitive, speaking about Maryland, just hanging in there and continuing to be competitive. That's also good for recruits too. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you looking good against the top tier talent in the nation, there's a good chance we could probably keep some talent in Maryland. You know what I'm saying? Instead of them going down south or to the Ohio State or going west. You know what I'm saying? So that's also good. Being competitive is also good for recruiting. And also UCLA and USC might be back, which is amazing for college football, because when USC is not in, it's like there's nobody out west. You know what I'm saying? That's really doing it right now. Because remember, you went back in the day, USC, UCLA, Oregon, those teams have fallen off in recent memory until USC stole Lincoln Riley in the middle of the night. and then in turn, Caleb Williams jumped into the portal, and now he's at USC. Now all of a sudden, boom! Dre, remember before the year started, we was talking about USC, and you was like, "Yo, I think they're a year away," and I was like, "Nah, I think they're doing it now. I think it's gonna happen right now, yo." And look at right, you see how fast. Oh, you know what I'm saying? USC, they may not make it, but they're gonna make a push for the college football playoffs. They're probably not gonna make it, but they're gonna make a push. I said they had an outside shot to make it, but you see what he did in a year without really recruiting. He really just told guys, "Hey, go through the portal. Come through the portal. Come on." He ain't even really recruit. He ain't really go out and recruit nobody.
You know what I would say? Since we're on the college football subject, I think the only disappointment right now has been Texas. That to me is just the biggest letdown, because you just feel like Texas, I thought they were heading in the right direction, but I'm not sure right now with their coaching, what's going on right now with that program, because I was hoping that Texas would be right along in that mix that you were talking about with the USCs, the UCLAs. But I mean, we're seeing even right now, Jackson State. I mean, what the work that Deion Sanders has been doing down there, and recruitment. I mean, like you were saying, Gervonta, these teams don't have to go to the Alabamas anymore, or Georgias or Clemson's, the Ohio States. They can go locally and still get drafted well, a high draft pick, within the NFL. So within the NFL draft. So I'm loving that trajectory that you don't have to necessarily go to the power schools anymore just to get drafted and get drafted high. As long as you handle your business on the football field, you can still make it to the NFL. So that's why I'm loving about everything being even kill. We talked about USC. We talked about UCLA. I mean, coaching and recruitment all matters. So I mean, you can see that
Absolutely.
even right now
That's
with
everything.
Jackson State. Jackson
That
State
that's
was able to get
everything
a high
in
recruit.
college.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we like I said, my hope is that Texas will eventually turn their program around because
They coming next year, Dre. They're a year away. They're a year two away. away.
and it's always good, overall when you have these type of teams that are competitive and that they're back. Like you said, I mean, we haven't seen USC, I mean, to that level since maybe the Matt Leinart and the Reggie Bush era. So when Pete Carroll was coaching them, so to see that they're starting to make some strides is all good for for everybody.
Also, you got
Yeah.
Oklahoma and Texas joining the
Texas.
SEC, and don't forget USC and UCLA joining the Big Ten. So a lot of conference realignment, which will be
Yeah, that's
crazy.
also a thing. And Oklahoma and Texas, with them, well, Oklahoma obviously losing Lincoln Riley, you naturally gonna take a step back. So it's like there's nobody in the Midwest really doing it right now. We got Kansas State, every now and then they pop out. But it's really it was supposed to be Texas, and Oklahoma. Sooners, and then Oklahoma State from time to time. That's supposed to be the middle of the country. That's supposed to be the Midwest. But it was really the SEC, and Ohio State, basically, and a couple teams out the Big Ten for real. But now it's like, all right, now we getting back. LSU coming back. Texas will probably be back next year, but the West Coast is back, baby.
We'll keep an eye on that. Let's take it down. 95. Ravens, Panthers, 13-3. Cold, windy day. Game didn't go probably as we expected, but a win is a win is a win. Raj, we talked about it yesterday on the post game. I'll get your thoughts quickly before Dre gives his diatribe. Go ahead. And then also, second question, where did they rank in the AFC? Easiest schedule remaining, by the way. Well, second behind the Chiefs, but you know what I
Man, well, let me answer that second question first. Where do they rank as far as in the AFC? I think they can play with anybody. I think they can beat any team. They can beat They can beat Buffalo. They can beat Kansas City. They can beat anybody. But I think they're in the AFC. I think they're third. I'm gonna say they're third behind KC and Buffalo. I think they're better than Miami, although they lost to them. I think they're better than the Jets. I think they're better than New England. I think they're better than any team. I think the only two teams is Kansas City and Buffalo that are above them. Granted, they still have issues. They do have a good defense. Roquan Smith is making a very great impact on this team defensively, but the only thing that the Ravens still lack is a consistent offense. And that showed yesterday against the Panthers. Yeah, the game was very ugly. It was disgusting. We watched it. I think Dre was there yesterday, I believe, in the cold. Why you were there, I have no idea, but it is what it is.
That boy crazy.
Yeah, I could have went, and I said, hell no, I'm not doing that. But yeah, it was a very ugly and disgusting game. I'm not sure why, the Ravens came out like that. I think they were, feeling themselves because they were playing the Panthers, and the Panthers are a bad team. And they said, you know what? We got 2 weeks to prepare. We're not going to really show up until the third quarter. And that's exactly what they did. But the thing that really scares me with the Ravens is not the fact that they're complacent at times. It's just the fact that we don't know what we're going to get with this team. We don't know if they're going to run the football consistently or if they're going to pass the football consistently. We don't know which wide receiver is going to show up each week. One week is Duvernay. He's having a phenomenal game. And another week is Robinson. Yesterday, it happened to be Robinson. He had a really great game. He might have been the only wide receiver that was very consistent, other than Andrews, who's not a wide receiver. He's a tight end, but that's neither here nor there. I want to see more consistency with this football team, man. And I want to see them do more than just, get by. I want to see them whip, people into submission, including these bad teams like Carolina. And, hopefully Jacksonville next week. But they I don't know, man. I think they can go where they want to go at. But it's just going to depend on what they want to do. And hopefully, with Gus Edwards coming back next week and Ajabo and, hopefully nothing seriously wrong with Ronnie Stanley. Hopefully he's okay in the next couple of weeks. And so is, our rookie, Mr. Hamilton. And, of course, the old guy, Deshaun Jackson, who's D's age.
Heard again, by the way.
Deshaun Jackson is nowhere near D's age.
Look, listen to this. Listen to this about Deshaun Jackson real quick. Guys know how many snaps he's played with the Ravens?
He's played 9 snaps.
And he's already hurt.
I know, exactly.
That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah,
God dog it.
It's a damn shame. But, I mean, like I said, the sky's the limit with this team. They gotta get it together. They gotta do better play calling, and they gotta get healthy, man. They can be as great as any team they want to be, even without Rashad Bateman. But it depends on them. But yesterday wasn't a really good game for them. The defense played phenomenal though. But I just think that they got a long way to go, even though they have an easy schedule. I just hope they play better next week. We're gonna
Ryan Jr. in the building.
Yeah. That's my the homie right there. That's my cousin. Shout out to you, my good brother. I just hope we play better, man. That's all I can say.
And Reginald, to your point, 2 questions for you guys that you can throw in in the comments. What is the Ravens' offensive identity, and where is the explosiveness in this offense? Because if you're going to go to Buffalo and go to Kansas City, which you're going to have to do, can you score enough with these teams? And this offense, I don't know if they can. Go ahead, Dre.
I think y'all make good points. Y'all wonder why I was at the game. It's because my lovely girlfriend, she dragged me out there. So normally I would say no, but Gervonta, I couldn't even call you, man. It was so cold, man.
I said, hell no. I'm not doing that.
She said it was either that or the Christmas game. So I mean, the Christmas Eve game. So
I would have chose a Christmas Eve game.
Yeah, maybe I should have, because it was too damn cold out there.
Maybe I would say it's hard to call now, but it was cold as hell. It's cold on the way yesterday.
Woo! There was a lot of people out there too that I knew. I couldn't believe that. But you know what though? Granted that the Ravens came off of a bye, I do feel like they came out slow and sluggish, which was just weird. Usually you don't see that from a John Harbaugh team coming off of a bye. I thought we would have came out there, punched that Carolina Panthers team, in the mouth. I knew that it wouldn't be an easy win, because Carolina is another team that's still up and coming. They're missing a quarterback, and they've had some dysfunction right there within the head coaching ranks. But I just thought that I think that there are some takeaways I had from that game though. One was I thought that I think the main thing was just that the fourth quarter to me stood out. Before I get to the fourth quarter, though, I think that, Byron, you made a good point about the scoring. Can they keep up with a team like Buffalo? We have seen that, yes, they can keep up with a team like Buffalo. I think the team that you got to be a little concerned with is Kansas City. But do I think that the Ravens can still compete with teams like Miami, Buffalo, and whoever else is supposed to come out of the AFC? Yes. But to me, the biggest takeaway was the fourth quarter. Granted, they had a late start, but I think that this is a learning lesson and a learning curve for the Ravens, especially in the November as we head into December and January, is that the fourth quarter to me has been an issue all season with this team. They've blown many leads, and the offense hasn't really kept up within the fourth quarter to stop the bleeding. I thought that this was a possible turnaround game, and granted that they may not be a Buffalo or a Kansas City type of team, but this is still, I think that they can look at the tape and learn something that, hey, we can score offensively still in the fourth quarter. Hey, our defense can hold it down and do what they need to do within the fourth quarter. And that this team does the things that they need to do to be competitive within the playoffs. They run the football. They play defense. They have an electrifying quarterback who can lead his team to score at will. And granted, we still are questionable at the wide receiver position because, like you said, we got Deshaun Jackson. He's hurt. We got Bateman. He's hurt right now. But do we have the tight ends such as Likely and Andrews? Yes. I think the guy number 10, Robinson, he had a hell of a game yesterday. So there were some good points.
Then watch next week, Dre. He don't have no catches.
That's the problem.
No catches.
No consistency.
No
I have to laugh at this because you're right. But I do think that there were some things for this team to learn from, like I said, within that fourth quarter, because I think sometimes you need a game like this before you head back to take on a team like the Bengals or a division rival such as the Steelers. Granted, the Bengals are probably the best team from, with our division that can right there with us, but you have to, like I said, be able to do old school things in order to win playoff games. And I think that the Ravens, I think that they can score, and I think that they can do other things like Gervonta put in the comments, run the football, play defense, and do what they need to do overall in order to win these type of football games. Yes, the game was probably closer than what we like, but that's just honestly things that have been with the Ravens over the years. So my take was that I thought it was a real good learning curve moving forward into the playoffs, and that I think that this team is honestly heading in the right direction.
Go ahead, Gervonta.
I think I agree with Raj. The Ravens are probably right around that 3-4 range, depending on how you view Miami and Cincinnati. But the Ravens have proven that. Well, they had that Miami game in the bag, right? And just like Dre said, that fourth quarter, just I don't know. It's always a dogfight with the Bengals because that's the divisional opponent. And you were the game, the Bills. You're right there. So I think it's safe to say somewhere around that 3 range, that 3 to 4 range in the AFC. Running the football is this team's identity. It's not much of a question. Before we even get into like the lack of wide receiver talent that you guys have on the outside, this starts and goes with Lamar Jackson and his running game. That is the Ravens' bread and butter, and it's always been the Ravens' bread and butter. As long as I've been watching football, this has been the Ravens' bread and butter, and it's a little different because it's coming for the dynamics is coming from a quarterback more so than a running back, but running the football is still the emphasis on his team. And one thing we always say, the running game and defense travels. Listen, everywhere in the AFC is cold except for Miami. So you're not going to be able to throw the ball all the time or all over the yard like that. So, but one thing you can do, no matter where you go, no matter what the weather is, you got to run that football. And the Ravens have been one of those teams this year and over the recent years running the ball effectively. Because when you run the ball effectively, every now and then you take your shots and catch somebody sleeping. Because the Ravens don't pass the ball well. But when you run the ball so effectively, you take your shot. Boom, you can hit Andrews over the middle. Boom, you can hit Likely on the out route. Boom, you can hit somebody on the you can hit Bateman or Duvernay on a comeback or a slant. They break a tackle and boom, it's up from here. You know what I'm saying? But running the football is this team's identity. And it's no need to change it because it's fine. It's what works. You know what I'm saying? You can win football games and you can win playoff games with this consistency of defense and running game. Now, it's when the running game is not consistent, it's when it's not effective that, the Ravens, just like any other team, would run into any problems. Because if a team stops your identity, what do you do next? You know what I'm saying? Like the Ravens have never been a proficient passing team, and they're not going to, and that's not going to change overnight. So as long as they continue to run the ball and health, okay, obviously health is obviously very important for any team, especially at this time of the year. So health is, obviously number one. But the Ravens in this run game, they can run on anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because they got a guy, number 8, that can do a lot of stuff in the backfield and find creases and find openings and be explosive, be electrifying. I believe that those are the words that was being used. So it doesn't always have to be the passing game. And in Kansas City in January or in Buffalo in January, ain't nobody worried about passing the ball anyway. Hell, in Baltimore, ain't nobody worried about passing the football. You will run the ball anyway because it's gonna be windy, it's gonna be cold. Man, run somebody over. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one thing the Ravens can hang their hat on. Even with the two teams that I put above them in the Kansas City Chiefs and the Bills, the Ravens run the football better than them. I think that goes without question. But my thing is, you have to be effective enough to at least get those key passes, get those key explosive passes down the field. You have to continue to be effective. And so yeah, that's their that's their identity. As opposed, and now to the game, this past game. Listen, as bad as the Panthers are, that defense is top tier. They have a top tier defense, and you can't just, I don't care how bad the team is, you just can't do anything with them boys. Like, they playing for their football careers too. Their coach just got fired a month ago, so everybody's playing for their job now. You know what I'm saying? And the defenders are like, well, we ain't been a problem all year, so we will continue to do what we do. Now, obviously, we can point to the offense being the problem, but that defense is going to be that defense. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't think the Ravens were going to. I felt like they should have punched in the mouth early, but obviously the Carolina Panthers presented a more difficult task than just outward getting punched in the mouth. Which is why, Byron, we were saying, well, I was saying once I found out what the point spread was, once I saw there was double digits, I'm like, oh, Carolina could cover this. Because first of all, folks don't be covering double-digit point spreads. It's just not a thing. I don't care how good you are as a team. It's too many things that go on in a game for a team to be up by double digits and win the game by double digits. It's just hard for teams to hold on to leads. Leads come and go, just like any other sport. So double-digit point spreads, not really a thing. And Carolina obviously did by losing by 10 points, and I think the point spread was 12. But the Ravens find a way to win. Because games like this, it's going to be games like this all the time, especially in the playoffs when it's two really good teams. It's going to be like this. Find ways to win.
Shout out to New England and the Jets.
Find ways to win. However it happens, find ways to win. New England found a way to win because it looked like that game was going to be a tie. We'll get into that game later, but find a way to win. The ugly games, just get the win. We'll figure it out later. Because that's what this NFL is about, right?
Yeah, it's about winning.
Speaking of finding a way to win, the Commanders, and we have the Commandalorian here today. Commanders win yet again, and we salute you, my brother, because they are on fire. And you see the question, I never changed it. Are playoffs possible? Remember before the season, Gervonta, I said you guys would be a wild card. I'm going to salute to that, brother. Because Taylor Heineke, this defense, Chase Young needs to come back in the next couple of weeks.
He's
Probably
active.
got to
He's
be this week.
active.
It got to be
He's
this week.
active.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Good.
He's active. He's active.
Okay. So get him back. Got Jahan Dotson back. We know Scary Terry. Offensive line playing better. Gervonta, I told y'all going to finish better record than the Giants. Y'all got a favorable schedule. Play the Giants twice down the stretch. Still have the Cowboys to end the season. I think all 3 games are winnable. I'll pull up your schedule, but how you feeling, brother? Another win. Doing what you're supposed to do against the worst team in football.
And that's all I can say. I haven't seen a game like this in quite some time for Washington team. This was absolutely zero sweat, no sweat. They started the game off with a pick 6 and never looked back. Like, this was one of the more complete games I've seen the Commanders play. Now, if I'm going to nitpick, the offense did leave quite a few points on the field. They did, but defense has been playing lights out since Heineke's been in there. They've been playing some damn good football, and there's nothing in me that thought Davis Mills was gonna light this team up in any way. Shout out to my boy Juice, St. Juice, cornerback for the Commanders. He's shown some strides in his very, very short career that he can match up against most wide receivers and compete. Also, shout out to another brother. Well, shout out to 2 more brothers in the secondary. Kendall Fuller sighting with the pick 6. God damn, I forgot you was on the team, baby. I don't know if that's a good or bad team. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing, but because you could be getting burnt up and getting looked at that way. But I ain't been seeing you, and boom, you came out. I was like, oh, he is still here. Cool. And also, Derek Force had a crazy interception in the game where he literally caught the ball off a tip. His shoulder hit inbounds, and then he fell out of bounds. I said, whoa, what a pick. He absolutely, I thought, I was like, look at that. Somebody look at that. And I saw Ron Rivera had the challenge flag in his hand just in case they want to get crazy. That was a great play, and that was a great interception. My defense is making great plays. And my defensive line, my heavens, Deron Payne, Josh Allen, Montez Sweat are out here doing it. I can't wait for Chase Young to come back because these boys are, I think they had about 6 sacks and 7 tackles for a loss or something crazy last game. And I'm like, that is a dominating performance. You did what you're supposed to do against a lesser tier team. All right, let's get back on this plane and let's go back home. That's how it's supposed to go. And because usually the Commanders don't, how we know the Commanders and Baltimore typically don't make it easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't seen an easy game from this Washington team in quite some time. So it was a really, really nice sight. Shout out to Heineke. Again, his numbers are not great. You look at his numbers. If you did not look at the game and just look at the box scores, you would say Heineke ain't do nothing. He did enough. He did enough. He is limiting his turnovers and putting the ball where it's supposed to go and leaning on that running game. Gibson is out here. Brian Robinson is out here. The offensive line is playing better. These are some good momentum things we can sink our teeth into moving forward. These are really, really good teams. I feel good about Atlanta this week. I feel really good about Atlanta this week. I just heard Kyle
Pitts.
Kyle Pitts. I believe he's on IR.
Mm-hmm.
Chase Young is coming back. I feel really good about our game in Atlanta this week because the momentum is on our side. And limiting these turnovers, because we limit turnovers, our defense is going to keep us in most games. So it's up from here, guys. I'm feeling really good. And that was a complete game. Absolutely no sweat. And no point was I worried about this game.
Real quick before you guys hop in, Falcons this week at home, at the Giants, then a bye week, then Giants again, 49ers, who look like they might represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. Browns, Deshaun Watson will be back in Landover and ending at home against the Cowboys. Gervonta, 6 games left. I could see y'all going 4-2, brother.
So we were Byron before the year started, and we went through the schedule, just going through it. We said about 9-10. You know what I'm saying? We said about 9-10 wins. 10 obviously being on the high end if things go really well. So 9 is very much in our sights. That crucial back-to-back games against the Giants, the sandwich between the bye weeks, is going to be really, really crucial for us finishing in the positive category right now. But we could get 4 wins. Four wins is absolutely attainable in that, which will put us right at 10. And I think 10 will be good enough to get us a wild card. So yeah, I like it.
Go ahead, fellas. Y'all got anything to add on?
I agree with Gervonta. I think that this team is trending in the right direction. I like the way that the defense is playing. At first, I didn't know if the Commanders were gonna, do anything this year because of Carson Wentz. He was completely terrible at times.
Yep.
But with the quarterback change and Tyler Heineke and the confidence that is led by his wide receiving core and everything else that's going around them, the schedule favors them, and the Giants look like they might tank. And I hate to say that because they were having such a great year, but I don't think it's meant for them to make the playoffs because I don't know, man. It's just it just look like it's going the other way. So I mean, we'll see though. But right now, everything is looking upward for the Commanders.
Right now, I'm happy. My brother Gervonta is on cloud 9, seeing his team make that turnaround, especially because we thought this team was in the toilet for this was
around week 5. Around week 5, it was like this might be it.
And now look at this team. I mean, they got themselves together. They're getting healthier. And they're winning football games. Grant, and I think that last week, that win against the Eagles might have been a definite momentum shifter, because if you beat the last unbeaten team and it's a divisional team, yeah, you guys are heading in the right direction. Can get into the playoffs and then even win a playoff game, yes. But it's something that we've talked about for so long, about you guys seeking outside validation at the quarterback position instead of looking inward, because I thought for the longest time, put Tyler Heineke out there and let him get a chance. I mean, the last time that you guys were in the playoffs, he was the quarterback. So I was like, give this boy a shot and let's see what he can do. Finally, he's getting the shot that he well deserves. And you're seeing what he's been able to do. And like you said, Gervonta, sometimes it may not be the prettiest thing, but is it a W? Yes. That's all this league is about. If you can get the W, sometimes instead of trying to compete with this team or that team, no, stick to your guns, stick to what you got. And if this guy is winning football games, then damn it, put him out there. You see what the 49ers are doing. They were about to make that leap with Trey Lance. But Jimmy G is who good or reliable. Went to him, winning football games, and looks like they may go to the Super Bowl. So do what you need to do out there. And the Commanders, you saw that he was the quarterback last week to push them and have them have that football game against the then undefeated Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm happy for my brother and all the Washington fans of our podcast and our extended Flex Zone family. So you know what? Hats off to you.
We salute you, Gervonta, and hey, I told you, playoffs were a possibility this season. Yes, my shout out to Cordell Patterson breaking the kick return record, his 9th of his career.
Yay.
So he's still getting it done.
Hopefully he got it all out. Hopefully he got it all out in that game. Ain't got nothing left.
Let's get into these NFL scores. Thursday, we had the Packers lose again to the Titans. What was the score of that game? I just had it pulled up.
Called it, man. Called that shit, man.
It was Titans 27, Packers 17, Falcons over the Bears 27-24. Justin Fields may be banged up. Eagles, Mark, come to the front of the congregation. Your Colts almost had it. Just Saturday loses on Sunday, 17-16.
Hey, they're coming.
Patriots beat the Jets for the 14th straight time with a punt return, last second touchdown. Best Jets way to lose. Saints beat the Rams 27-20. The Rams' worst start by a Super Bowl champion in NFL history through 10 games. Commanders 23-10 over the Texans. Bills 31-23 in Detroit over the Browns. Ravens 13-3 over the Panthers. Lions go on the road and beat the Giants for their third straight win. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Lions have won 3 in a row, 31-18. Wow. Raiders in overtime beat the Broncos 22-7.
Woo! My gosh.
Devontae Adams. Bengals beat the Steelers 37-30. Cowboys, hammer time all up in Minnesota. CJ, where you at? 40-3 over the Vikings. Chiefs beat the Chargers. Patrick Mahomes making magic out of 40 seconds, 30-27. 49ers, Cardinals. 49ers beat them boys up in Mexico 38-10. And like I said, 49ers looking like the NFC potential representatives for the Super Bowl right now. I know Philly's number 1, but something about that 49ers team look like they are determined to get back. They were in the NFC Championship game last year. Let's go game ball, not so game ball. Jersey Dre, I'm going to start with you, brother. Kick it off for us.
Ooh. I guess my game ball would have to go to... You know what? I haven't said this in quite some time, so I'm gonna say it.
Oh.
How about them Dallas Cowboys?
Oh.
Of course.
You know, granted, I didn't expect it yesterday.
Nope.
Honestly, I don't think none of us on this squad picked them. I think everybody picked Minnesota.
Oh gosh, yes, I did.
And not only did they beat Minnesota, they beat the bricks off them. You would have thought this was a primetime game because the way Kirk Cousins looked out there. I was like,
hey,
damn it, Kirk. Which is honestly concerning because, you know, we talked about the 49ers being a representative for the NFC. Granted, we didn't know what Minnesota could do, but damn it, Minnesota was supposed to be better than what they showed yesterday. It might just be one of them fluky games. Who knows? We may not have seen this game had it Dallas beat the Packers the week before, so we don't know. But I mean, you talk about laying an egg, Dallas. You know, now everybody's back to talking about Dallas. And fun fact: Odell Beckham is supposed to be visiting the Giants or
of all
the
teams,
Cowboys. So if they get Odell,
oh boy,
look out!
Who knows?
Oh boy, yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So you know, we shall see. You know, and my not so game ball. You know, we talked about Detroit and, you know, all the talk about, you know, breaking kneecaps and granted whatever they supposed to be doing out there, but I don't know what's going on with the Giants. That's what, 2 games in a row now. You guys done stunk up the joint. You know, as Giants fans, all this bragging, you know, having their chests all poked out, and now look at you. You know,
look at you.
It looks you are who we thought you were. And, you know, that's one of those games that the Ravens lost and we had it in the bag. And then Lamar started pressing and this team just blew a fourth quarter lead. So, and I'm not saying that the Giants aren't a good football team, that they're not heading in the right direction. But, you know, just like we talk about on this show with the NBA and Christmas time, the NFL, we always say that they don't start playing hard until November, and you really get into the meat of the season when it's really Thanksgiving, because that's when you make that final playoff push. So right now, the Giants, they're coming, but they're just not that team quite yet. So they got my not so game ball.
Go ahead, Raj. Your game ball, not so game ball.
Mark funny, man.
Mark's hilarious. Wow. My game ball will have to go to that bad man, in Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, man. Every time you think that you have this brother beat, he finds a way to beat you at the end. And like clockwork, he let that drive down the field. I was like, sure enough, he gonna probably throw the touchdown to Travis Kelce. And he threw it right to Travis Kelce. So I mean, he had a
We
phenomenal.
can write this stuff. We can write this, yo. We can write this script, yo.
I mean, it was like clockwork. I was like, he's gonna win this game. He's just gonna find a way, and he did it. He did it, and he had a phenomenal game, over 300 yards, 3 touchdown passes. This is what he does. I mean, he's a superstar. He's the top dog in the NFL, and they're 8-2 because of him and that great offense, and because the defense is lackluster at times, but it's neither here nor there. It doesn't really matter. Pat Mahomes controls the AFC. He's been controlling it for the last 5 years. He's probably going to control it again for the next 5 more years. It don't matter who his wide receivers are. He's going to find a way to throw it to him, and he's going to make it look pretty. So he gets my game ball just because he's great, and this is what he does. My national game ball
right now.
My Patty is the last dragon. He got the glow.
He's definitely on a roll.
You got that glow. Yeah, he got all that. But my not so game ball, baby. My not so game ball goes to those New York Jets. I was so happy. Oh, I was so happy, man, because God damn it, I heard Q last week on 105.7 The Fan, and he was talking his nonsense about the Ravens and how the Jets is going to find a way to get rid of this stench that the New England Patriots have been portraying on them for the last about 4+ years of losing 14 straight times to him. And that, my God, Zach Wilson, man. Jesus Christ. 77 yards passing on 9 attempts for 20. He only completed nine attempts for 77 yards. Disgusting. And the funny thing is, ladies and gentlemen, they could have had Justin Fields as a quarterback and they passed on him. Oh, these New York Jets I was going to say they're terrible. The defense played hard. They played their asses off. Hats off to Sauce Gardner and the gang. I mean, they have been amazing. I will not take that away from them. Their defense is a great defense, but Zach Wilson is a garbage quarterback. He is
trash, bro.
He is I've been telling y'all since the beginning of the season. He's garbage,
bro.
At this point,
I've been here, bro.
You can put White Mike in there. You can put Joe Flacco in there. You can put whoever. I can go in there and play quarterback at this point. He's terrible. But they get my not so game ball, man. It was a heartbreaking loss the way they lost the game. But yeah, man, they find ways to lose to the New England Patriots. This is a fact. They done lost 14 straight to these boys, and it's not gonna get any better from here. And especially if people like Zach Wilson is your quarterback. God damn, 77 yards, brother. 77 yards. You look worse than Carson Wentz, and that's saying something because Carson Wentz is terrible too. But god damn, man, 77 yards. Get it together. Trash ass quarterback.
Still had a trip
to
Minnesota and Buffalo.
Wait a minute. Let me say this. Hey, y'all. They could have had Trevor Lawrence as well.
No, they couldn't have.
Oh, yes.
Oh, you're right.
Because they remember?
Yeah.
They had the number 1 pick for most of the year.
Yeah, they did. They won that game.
They had the number 1 pick for most of the year, and then they started the goofy winning when it don't matter. Yeah, I think they made goofies of the week a couple times. I'm like, yo, why? That win means nothing to you.
You've been losing all year, and now you want to win.
Now you want to. God dog it.
Only the Jets could do some stuff like that. The stupidness. I remember Mike Greenberg came on the next day, and he was so mad. Why? Why now? Oh yeah, and now you want to decide.
Start low and high, Gervonta.
Oh man, so Raj You literally took both of them. You took my game ball and not so game ball.
If you want to use the Jets as your not so game ball, you can destroy them even more. Have fun. Have at it. I'm pretty sure they're your goofy of the week. They should be. They should be. I'm just saying.
Got that. So that's why I'm gonna leave it alone for this one. So I'm gonna take the gimme here and say the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins. I mean, Dre. This game had to be at 8:00, right?
I thought so. If he ain't throwing to Justin Jefferson, man, you see who he is.
My God. But yo, Byron, ain't TJ Hawkinson on that team now?
Hawkinson, Adam Thielen, they got
Adam Thielen.
It was a letdown. They beat Buffalo last week when they weren't supposed to. It was a letdown game. They didn't show up.
I got a Thielen.
Listen, man, let me tell you something. This is my saying. When I see games like that, they ain't get off the bus. And the funny thing about it, they probably didn't even take the bus because it was in Minnesota. They ain't get on no train. They ain't get on no plane. They probably drove themselves to the game.
That rhymed. All right, I appreciate
that. Like, yo, ain't nobody get up. Everybody still at the house. Everybody's mind still at the crib. Like, y'all did not get up for this game at all. I don't know if it's because their head got blown up because of the Bills game, but I told y'all, this Vikings team, the Commanders almost beat these dudes. And I'm like, yo, this team is overrated, bro. And they go lay an egg at home to the damn Cowboys. Now the Cowboys are back on everybody's radar again. CJ, AJ, my homegirl Shea, that's from Minnesota. All my friends that are Vikings fans, there's not that many of y'all. God damn it. What's really good? Because I felt good. I don't know about y'all. I felt good about that pick. And my gosh, they didn't get out of bed. They did not get out of bed. And I'm wanting to give a couple votes to Kevin O'Connell for Coach of the Year. But God damn it, he did not get these boys ready for this game. And it showed. Number one, and I'm probably spending too much time on this, but real quick, why the hell did you start the game passing? Like Michael Parsons ain't on the other side of the line. Why are you run the ball? You got Dalvin Cook. What? Like I don't get it. Run the football, then pass. Michael Parsons over there, he's waiting to eat, and he did. I think he had 2 sacks last game. Which now he's in double digits. Great. So yeah, that's my not so game ball. Gosh, yeah, my original game ball was definitely Patty Mahomes boys for for being Patty Mahomes boy. This team has been playing terrible all year. Terrible coach, terrible coaching, terrible team. But they pulled it out in overtime against a team that was even worse than them, and that was the Vegas Raiders. They found a goddamn way. Listen, man. I know Devontae Adams. That had to be a sigh of relief. Like, first of all, I don't know why he was that wide open, but that had to be a sigh when he caught the ball. He's like, "Yo, my gosh!" And that was only their 3rd win this year, but they found a way to get it done against a divisional opponent on the road against the Broncos, and let's ride Bronco country. and they as goofy as they want to be too. So big ups, man. We haven't been giving many game balls to the Vegas Raiders or Derek Carr, or any of them, but they'll get mine this week because God damn it, that was one they needed. And they got it done. Took a little extra time. Derek Carr did lead a drive to tie the game and then get into overtime. And they didn't even let Didn't even let Russell Wilson touch the football.
So
Great.
damn, he didn't cook at all.
No.
No, he didn't cook.
I don't think he turned the stove on. I don't think he turned the stove on.
He was cooked.
Let's ride to this L.
Let's ride.
That's right.
Dre, you got the
Goofy.
picks from this past week as we get ready for week 12?
Yes, sir. So from the picks this week, Raj was first, Gervonta was second, and I was tied with. And no, we were all tied with him for second place. Third was our friend of the show last week, Jag, and last week Darius came in fourth. Overall standings, Raj is still first at 108, 66 and 1. I'm second at 105, 69 and 1. And Gervonta and Byron, y'all are tied at 102 and 72 and 1.
All right.
Let's
That's
get
right.
to it. Got 3 games.
First time.
Three
First
games
time.
on Thanksgiving. Starts with the best game of the day, in my opinion. Bills at Lions, 12:30 for your eating schedules accordingly.
Hey guys, look at Mark's last comment. The one before that. Yeah, that one.
There was a stat that read Denver had just scored 18 points in regulation in each of their games.
Yes, I did see that stat. So it's crazy because we've been talking about Denver as one of those teams for the longest time to say that they need a quarterback. Now we don't know what the hell they need because the defense ain't.
We don't know what the hell they need.
They got rid of Melvin Gordon because he fumbled the ball 5 freaking times this season.
I saw.
That make no damn sense.
So, his ass is gone. He gonna ride to free agency or out the league, I should say.
He about to ride his ass about the league.
But yes, Bills, Lions, Bills in Detroit for the second straight week. I'm going Bills and a close one.
I'm scared for the Bills, honestly. I think the Lions might beat them.
You got the Lions?
I'm not picking them. I'm not picking the Lions.
This is a scary game.
Oh, okay.
I'm picking the Bills, but I might be wrong. I'm just gonna say that because the Lions are I think they're on a 3 or 4 game winning streak right now.
Three.
They're on fire.
Yeah,
3 in a row, 2 out of 3 on the road.
Woo!
I think everybody seems to be picking Buffalo.
I'm rolling with the Bills though.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills. But my gosh, if the Lions win, I'm be like, God damn it!
It would surprise me.
I think they'll cover. Byron, we were talking about that before the show started. I do think they will find a way to cover that somehow.
And this game is usually when all the black people start to eat after 4 o'clock. Giants, Cowboys.
Yeah, but I say this is the game that everybody catches. I'm
rolling
gonna roll with Dallas.
I'm rolling with them boys.
Yeah, it looks like the Giants have like started to come crashing down back to earth. I'm gonna go with Dallas as well after such a dominating performance. But now I will say this: after such a dominating performance, it's hard to follow up. It is difficult to follow up, and this is a divisional game.
Especially when you got Michael Irvin and Ryan Clark.
Oh my God,
being goofy and goofier this morning.
Man,
so
Michael Irvin be tripping me out when he be turned into a preacher and start sweating and everything. I'm just waiting for him to take the jacket off, man, and come out that time. I mean, dude, be drenched like he played a football game.
Word. So yeah, I'm gonna go with the Cowboys, but they did kick the Minnesota Vikings teeth in, and it's usually hard to follow up a performance like that with another one. And it's a divisional game, so you know. But I will pick the Cowboys.
Main event, probably be going for your second or third plate. Patriots at Vikings, or you may be taking.
Oh, this is dessert time, baby. This is dessert time right here, baby. This is how we finish it off the night. This is all the cakes and pies. This is all the cakes and pies right here.
This is the game that I'm skeptical about because it's prime time. See, this is the game when I would have been like, Kirk Cousins is about to lose.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It is a prime
time.
But you know what, though? Granted, this is a national television game, But I don't feel like people are gonna be watching this game like they're gonna watch Detroit.
Are they gonna watch? They gonna watch this game after the way the Vikings got their ass whipped. They gonna be watching this game to see if they gonna bounce back.
It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing else to watch, Trey. It ain't nothing else to watch.
Ain't nothing else to watch. They gonna
There's
be
gonna be a lot
watching.
to eat. There's gonna be a lot to eat.
Oh,
I'm going
I'm gonna
Cowboys.
pick Minnesota begrudgingly.
Matter of fact, I got the Cowboys too, Dre, and I have the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm picking the Vikings.
Let's go to Sunday. Texans.
I'm
at
I'm
Dolphins.
gonna pick. Listen, I'm gonna pick the Vikings because Mac Jones ain't on nothing. Mac Jones ain't on nothing offensively.
Wait a minute. Is it Mac Jones or what's that other dude that they've been talking
It's
about?
Mac Jones, not
Zappy?
Zappy. Not Zappy.
Zappy.
Picking the Vikings too. Picking the Vikings.
I like Zappy.
But I'm be so mad at myself if they beat. Ooh, I'm be so mad at myself if they lose.
All right, let's get to it. Texans, Dolphins. I think we all agree Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Yep.
Bengals, Titans. This will be a good one. This could split the group.
Ooh, I'm gonna pick the Titans. We'll roll with the
my
Titans.
gosh.
I got to catch a rise. I'm going to go Bengals. I don't believe in the Titans, even though their record is good. I do not believe in Tannehill. I believe in.
They took Kansas City to the limit.
I'm hoping
they're really.
I'm
tough.
hoping Jamar Chase comes back this week. I think Cincinnati looked good this week too.
No, Jamar Chase won't be back this week.
Not yet.
Is Mixon playing? Is the question. He got hurt too.
I think they'll be all right though. I think they'll be all right.
If Mixon ain't playing, I ain't trusting that.
Give me the Bengals. Give me the Bengals on the road. I'll take
I'm
Bengals.
rolling with the Titans. Derrick Henry in the game.
Yeah, I got Titans.
You know what? I am going with. I'm going with the Bengals, yo. I'm gonna go with the Bengals.
Okay.
I'm gonna lean on Joey. I'm gonna lean on Joey. Joey to get it done.
Broncos, Panthers.
Ooh, that's ugly.
Oh gosh. I don't know. I'm not picking the. Oh gosh, no wait. I think I said it to both teams of this year. I'm about to say I can't pick the Broncos no more, y'all. I can't. I just can't. And the Panthers are terrible. Like this is gonna be a low scoring, ugly game again.
I'm tempted to pick the Broncos.
I cannot, man. I don't think I can bring myself to do it.
I think I'm gonna pick the Panthers.
I'm gonna roll with the Panthers though. I'm tempted to pick the Broncos, but
I'm going with the Panthers.
And everything is telling me like the Broncos are a better team, better quarterback, better everything. But the Panthers might mess around and beat these dudes. I'm gonna go with the Panthers.
It's my last time picking the Broncos. I'll be on the loan on that island. Give me the Broncos. Bears, Jets. I'm going Jets.
Yeah, I don't know what the status of Justin Fields. So if he's not playing, then the Jets is going to find a way to win. But regardless, the Jets is going to win because of the defense. So
I'm picking day for Justin Fields. So I'm gonna say he's not going to play, and I'll take the Jets at home.
All right, so everybody picking the Jets.
Yeah, we'll pick the green and white bastards.
Might be the last time.
Falcons. Matter of fact, I'm gonna come back to that real quick. Buccaneers, Browns. I'm gonna go Buccaneers.
Yeah, Buccaneers.
Yeah, I think everybody's gonna pick the Browns.
Tampa Bay is back.
Buccaneers. They seem like they could be bouncing back. And this is the last week without Deshaun Watson coming back next week. Coming out next week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Raiders, Seahawks.
Tampa Bay. Raiders, Seahawks. Wow. Seahawks at home. I think I like it.
You said Seahawks. Seahawks.
The Hawks.
Dre, could you do me the honor, brother, and say it for me? Because I'm actually going with the Raiders on the road.
The Raiders.
Thank you, Dre.
Who they play?
Seahawks.
They take it on Seattle and Seattle.
Oh, Seahawks.
Chargers, Cardinals. I'm going Chargers.
Chargers.
Kyler Murray's health is in question, man. I'm going with the Chargers, and it seems like Keenan Allen. And it seemed like Keenan Allen may be back. Mike Williams still dealing with some injury.
Keenan Allen came back last game. He came back yesterday.
Yeah. He came back and made the catch that we thought was going to be the winning catch. Well, everybody except for Kansas City. But
you allowed too much time.
I can't pick the Cardinals. I can't.
So everybody's picking the
Arizona.
No,
LA.
Yeah,
the Chargers.
Yeah.
Saints 49ers. I think we all agree there.
49ers.
Yeah, 49ers.
Rams Chiefs. We're going Chiefs.
Yep.
Yes.
Come on now.
Packers Eagles. I think Eagles.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Monday night Steelers Colts.
Oh. Yikes.
Going Steelers. I'm going with the Steelers.
Give me the Colts.
I want the Steelers to win this one. I mean, but I'll give the Colts credit. They have the past 2 weeks. They have shown me something.
So he'll be Jeff Monday. Now he'll be Jeff Monday. Now.
Jeff Monday.
Look, they damn near beat Philadelphia, man.
Give me the Colts.
I know we said he wasn't going to do that good of a job, but the past 2 weeks he done showed me something.
They're playing hard under him. They are playing hard under him.
I'm gonna roll with the Colts. They playing just a little harder right now.
I am going to go with Indianapolis as well.
Commanders.
Right, so wait a minute, are we split on this then?
Everybody except for Raj has the Steelers. I mean, everybody except for Raj has the Colts. We all have the Colts.
So you have the Colts too, Byron?
Yeah. Commanders host the Falcons. Gervonta, I'm rolling with your Commanders.
Come on, baby.
Yeah, me too.
I feel good about it.
Commanders roll.
Come on.
And Ravens going to Jacksonville, where it'll be 75 and sunny for the Ravens.
Ugh, Jesus. Ugh. I hate Florida games. I hate Florida games, yo.
The Ravens do too. They don't have good history in Jacksonville. Just putting that out there.
I'm tempted to pick Jacksonville, but I'm gonna roll with the Ravens.
I'm gonna roll with the Ravens too.
Yep, right. Ravens.
Y'all going to Ravens. Don't forget, Joy, I got the Raiders, Bengals, and Broncos as my 3 fancy picks. So
I got you down.
See how that rolls. That could go either really well or really bad. We shall see. Real quick, let's go ahead and get into a quick message from Fanatics. Haven't played for them in a while. Got to keep up with Fanatics for the holiday season. Want to get those last-minute gifts, birthday gifts, anniversary gifts, as well as those upcoming Christmas gifts. Check out our message from Fanatics. Then we'll be right back with Goofies of the Week on Flex Zone Podcast. Breaking news here on the Flex Zone Podcast YouTube channel, the only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. We are proud to announce we have partnered with Fanatics.com, and they are the official sponsor of the Flex Zone Podcast. That's right, Fanatics, your home for all your sports apparel, has decided to partner with the Flex Zone Podcast. Let me tell you more. We always talk about here on the Flex Zone Podcast that confidence is key. And when you have confidence, you can accomplish anything, and you stand out from the rest. Stand out from the rest by going to our special link and clicking it and supporting not only Fanatics, but when you help out Fanatics and click this link, you help out your favorite sports podcast, the Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. We are the head of the sports podcast table. We are the ones, and make sure you acknowledge us. Fall is here, and football season is in full swing. And our friends at Fanatics have decided to partner with the only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. The Flex Zone Podcast for all your sports apparel needs. Get your officially licensed gear from the NFL, NBA, and NCAA. And now Fanatics is proud to announce they are the official apparel sponsor of the WWE. And you know we here at the Flex Zone Podcast love some good old wrestling. And you too could be the man of 1,000 t-shirts. With the holidays approaching, birthdays, anniversaries, or just that special gift for that special someone, Fanatics has it all. Sports memorabilia, trading cards, NFTs, and of course, all your favorite sports teams. Leagues in the United States, leagues out of the United States. Fanatics has it all. Use the special link down below. Support not only Fanatics, but the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. So Fanatics can continue to sponsor and work with the Flex Zone Podcast for days, for weeks, for months, and years to come. Do what God's favorite host says do. And that's right, click that link down below. Go to Fanatics.com. Support the Flex Zone Podcast. You're head of the sports podcast table. Only place giving you your sports how you want it when you need it. Fanatics.com. All your apparel needs in one place. And they are the title sponsor of the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you your sports how you want it, when you need it. Yes, click that link down below. I'll put it in the chat as well. Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you sports how you want it when you need it. Give you that apparel as well. It's that time of the week where we get goofy with the captain of the goofy ship, the commander Lorian, the commander, Gervonta, babies, goofies of the week.
Gosh, something wrong here.
I always get scared with that. Sounds like
I think it's because we don't see it coming. But again, it's always something wrong. It's always something wrong here. It's almost on a weekly basis. For the sake of time, I'm gonna limit it to one. But of course, again, welcome Goofies of the Week, sponsored by the Flex Zone. Appreciate you guys for giving me a little bit of time. Let me tell the world what I thought was goofy this week. I have two levels of goofiness that I mainly deal with. And it's funny because I guess they're kind of one and the same this week because Jet Green is my low level goofy one. Laugh about it, and we just laugh about it. We usually laugh and just leave it there. But my high level goofy, the red one. I don't Falcons. Nah, they doing all right. Cardinal red, I guess, this week. It's concerning. It's no longer funny. It's now concerning. Things have to be talked about. Things have to be adjusted. Things have to be reevaluated. And I believe for my goofy of the week, I think Robert Saleh has a lot of reevaluating to do. And that's with his quarterback, Zach Wilson. I've been saying for years, well, I guess 2 years, that I felt like Zach Wilson was not the second best quarterback in that draft. I thought it was easily Justin Fields. It was Trevor Lawrence, then Justin Fields, and probably Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, something to that effect. But I just felt like there was no way he should have went second. And the Jets are going to continue to be the Jets, and now they're paying for their sins, I guess. Zach Wilson in the second half of the game, there was he led the offense to 2 entire yards. 2. Let me pull up some stats. I'm gonna read off his final stats for the game. Here you go, right here. Go to these lavish stats we got going on here. Zach Wilson, final stats: 9 of 22. 22 attempts, 9 completions. This is not the end of the third quarter. This is not at halftime. This is the end of the game. 77 yards passing. Again, this is not the end of the first quarter. This is not the end of the second quarter. This is the end of the game. Triple zeros. Everybody go home. 0, because they only scored 3 points. 0 passing touchdowns. And he was sacked 4 times. And then in his post-game interview, a very interesting question was asked. Do you think you let the defense down? And he, without a doubt, without even thinking about it, it's almost like he knew what the question was. No. He said no. He absolutely said no. He did not think twice about it. He didn't say, like he was thinking. He said no. Bro, if I am Mr. Williams on the defensive line, if I am Sauce Gardner, he got to square up when he get back to the locker room, bro. We got to square up. We got to what? Bro, we gave up 3 points. And you only completed 9 passes? 9? Come on, bro. You completed 9 passes the entire game. And only led the team 2 yards. I want to say it was 2.7 yards to be exact, but it wasn't 3. It wasn't 3. The entire second half. That means every time you got the ball, you ain't do nothing with it. How dare you call yourself a franchise quarterback and a leader? They should, all the defensive players need to rip that C right off his jersey. He shouldn't be nobody's captain. He shouldn't be nobody's leader. And I liked Robert Saleh's comments. He said, we are going to evaluate the entire offense. We're going to evaluate everything. And whatever happens, happens. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not committed to nobody, especially you. Because all in all, he's not Robert Saleh's guy. That I believe the Zach Wilson decision was made before Robert Saleh stepped into that building. So I don't think Robert Saleh has any problem with letting him go. I mean, at this point, where White Mike at? Where Joe Flacco at? Because Zach Wilson throwing 77 yards the whole game? Yeah, bro. You on your last rope. You on your last rope for sure. And again, I stand behind Robert Saleh. I ain't committed to nothing. We evaluate everything. Zach Wilson is trash. God awful. He was at best the 4th best quarterback in that draft, and he got picked 2nd overall. He should be in Chicago suffering right now. Instead of my man Justin Fields, who went to the Ohio State. Justin Fields should be with this offense and this great defense and this up-and-coming head coach in New York, getting all the ads. Instead of in Chicago, just suffering. Just suffering. I hate it. And Zach Wilson gets to be all high and mighty in New York, throwing 77 yards passing. 9 completions. That's like 2 completions a quarter, yo. He's awful. Trash. Very, very disappointing. I absolutely hate that. I hate it for Robert Saleh because I wanted that win. I wanted that win for him because the Jets have been the little brother to the New England Patriots our lives since Rex Ryan was the coach. Pretty much, they've been the little brothers to the New England Patriots, and I wanted that for Robert Saleh. And Robert Saleh been.
Shit, before that, they was the Patriots were their daddies. For the last 20 plus years, they've been their daddies. They've been whooping on them since the early 2000s.
Shoot, easy. They've been the little brother to the Giants as well. In their own state.
Proving my goddamn point. The one they share a building with. Zach Wilson is garbage. And we've been saying it since the beginning. He's not good. He will not last too much longer. And I'm not gonna say the league, but he will not last much longer with the New York Jets. Because Robert Saleh, he ain't playing with folk. He got receipts out here for folk. They've been talking trash about him all year. And I wanted this one for him to get this monkey off his back. But unfortunately, the monkey was already there. But that's my lone goofy of the week. I'm not even gonna say that entire New York Jets, but goddamn it, that damn offense led by Zach Goofy Williams. Y'all know my line. There's a thin line between goofy and great, and Zach Wilson is on the wrong end of it. Get him out of here. You got to do better.
No, you don't. You don't got to do better.
Something wrong here.
That's how he be looking all.
That's Zach Wilson falling out the sky.
Jersey Dre, what can they expect next week, episode 367, and how can they start their day with a cup of Dre as well?
Hey, next week we might get into this this debate about these quarterbacks, these recent this new wave of quarterbacks. Get into our top 10 list. I think that'll be a good discussion for us.
Top 10 all time or current?
No, current.
Patty, my homeboy up there. You already know.
Big Raj, another week of content. What can the people expect on the channel?
They can expect a lot of good content coming up. As usual, do the AEW Dynamite breakdown with the crew.
Oh, yes.
Also, we have SmackDown on Friday.
Oh,
Probably previewing Survivor.
No SmackDown on Friday. Family time.
Sorry. No,
Yeah, everybody gets a week off. But we will have a
previewing
Survivor Series preview. Survivor Series preview and Ravens preview.
Yeah, so Survivor Series preview and the Ravens preview, and also a live stream for Survivor Series. Hopefully, Dre will join us for Survivor Series on the channel. We will not be going to Jimmy Seafood. I repeat, we will not be going to Jimmy Seafood this weekend. Dre, I don't know why you asked that question yesterday, but I'm making it known today. No, we will not be out there eating delicious meat and cheeses. No, we don't. But anyway,
he did feed her the meat live on the stream. By the way, we're gonna have to put that.
Wow! We're still doing this.
And if you want to go back and check it out, check out the live stream, the AEW live stream, where I fed Queen Mia a piece of my delicious meat. Right.
Hey, yo, we're not doing this. Oh, y'all gonna leave me? That's crazy.
But
That's crazy.
Yes, we have
She swallowed.
Wow. Yeah, we're doing a lot here, guys. Oh, wait, we're worse than the commentators. We're worse than the NFL commentators at this point.
Hold up. She swallowed all of my meat. So yes. Definitely check us out. Got a lot more content coming up. Hit that like, hit that subscribe.
Family show.
Hit the bell for notifications. Because if you don't, I'm not going to give you a piece of my meat, but Dre will give you his.
Somebody stop him. Stop him.
Executive producer Andre Melton, senior producer come out there, her social media producer, Big Raj, God's favorite host of the morning shows truly. Wednesday, AEW. Friday, Survivor Series preview and Ravens preview probably coming on Saturday. And don't forget, Raj, D, and myself, Ravens post game show Sunday after the Ravens and Jaguars. Only place, fellas, give me sports how you want it.
When you need
it.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell. Super chat us. The Flex on One on Cash App. At the Flex on One on Twitter and Instagram. TikTok, the Flex on Podcast. Only place give me sports how you want it when you need it. Episode 367 next Monday. Hit the bell. Check out Fanatics. And until next time, y'all. Peace.
That's right. Get this beat, baby.
Wow. Yep. I'm out of here.